welcome to another episode of the Smallholding Revolution. My name is Alan Okello. This is David and
Scotty H.
All right, so we're getting deeper into this. The last episode, please go check it out if you haven't yet. We established that you can find land, buy land, start a farming business, and the farming business pays for the land, and you end up with a home that bought itself while growing your own produce, eating healthy food with no additional chemicals,
pesticides, herbicides, fungicides,
chemicals,
all of that.
And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper because we kind of skipped over a few steps, because you can't just buy land and just plonk a house on it, can you? How long does that bit take?
Well, our program that we are piloting at the moment, we believe typically from finding the land to actually eventually getting permission should take about 36 months, which not very long. A month goes by like that, doesn't it? So 3 years, 36 months. Potentially it could be done quicker. Particularly, Scotty will probably elaborate a little bit more about how you can speed that process up, expedite that process. But you're not limited to 3 years. It could be done in 5 years. Typically, on our program and our model, you'll need to achieve this within probably the first 5 years, and we'll go on to explain why. It's to do with the permitted development rules, which are a key to actually getting this process underway.
Or you can try and do it on your own, do it all the wrong way, and take 10 years like I
Did
have.
someone do that?
Do you know what? We need to hear about your origin story. Because,
That's probably a good time.
You touched on little bits, but you mentioned something interesting. What is permitted development?
Okay, so permitted development, well, under the UK planning rules, there are a set of, basically it's a rule book. It's a bit like playing football, playing rugby. If you're playing football and the opposite side are playing by the rules of rugby, they can pick the ball up and they can punch you in the... they're going to win, okay? Football, you need to play against someone who's playing the rules of football. And this might sound like a bit waffle, but planning is just a set of rules. A lot of people think it's designed to stop you doing things. It's not. The rules are there to create a framework around which you have to operate. And the arbiter of the rules, i.e. the planning department's job, is to ensure that you are following those rules. Okay. In some cases, you will have planning departments, and Scott has got probably a lot more to say on this than I have. There are planning departments who become subjective about the rule process, and they exceed their remit, really, but that isn't their job, and actually they can be held to account. It is a bit of work if they do this, but you can hold them to account. But in the main, many planning departments are actually good, so don't be put off by the planning process. People will say, oh, it's really difficult. It's a set of rules. It's difficult if you don't read the rules, you don't follow the rules, and you don't understand the rules.
Then you go nowhere.
And you don't know the rules. Then you will either go nowhere or you'll go backwards and spend a lot of money, and you may then employ consultants to help you get through this, and often it's not really always in their best interests.
I did a period of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was painful.
Yeah. So, your question was about permitted development.
Yeah, what
so
is it?
permitted development is part of the rule book which lists the things you can do and the conditions under which you have to do them, or in order to be eligible for creating a development opportunity which is permitted without planning permission. So if you imagine, there's two situations. There's applying for planning permission, and that is where you are the child and the planning department are the parent, and you are asking for permission from them. Okay. And then there's permitted development where you are the parent and you're informing, I won't necessarily say the child, but you're informing an equal that you are going to do this, and the rules allow you to do it.
Okay. Can they say no?
They
can say no.
They check the rules.
Okay.
And they got a time period to say no.
And the time period for planning permission is 12 weeks. Well, it's supposedly 8. It's, in effect, it is supposed to be 3 whole months. 3 months, 3 whole months.
Wow.
Permitted development, 28 days.
That's right.
All right.
So you can submit a permitted development notice, because you're giving the planning department notice of your intention to carry out the permitted development. And they have 28 days to either do nothing, in which case you can go ahead, or to confirm that they're happy for you to go ahead, or the third thing is to reject your notice.
Okay, so I bang them an email.
Yeah.
They turn around and say, it's been rejected. What do I do next?
Right. What you do is you fill in a permitted development form, which is only a couple of pages.
Yeah.
So which effectively shows the plans you're going to do. So let's say you're going to put up a barn, which in our program, that's one of the things you would do.
Okay.
You would design your barn, you would send them the elevations, you'd send them a site plan, and you'd fill in their form, which is a couple of pages. It's not onerous, it's very basic, very simple.
Even I could do it.
Need an architect to do
No.
all of this stuff, so
No.
I can literally
Well,
just hand draw the
yeah.
shape of my land.
Yeah.
So I want to put
Well, you
barn here,
download
barn
a plan.
here.
No.
Okay.
You download the plan of your land.
Okay.
So you have to have the proper plan with a northing and with a basically a sign
Ordnance
that says
survey.
north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
Ordnance
Kind of
survey.
compass type thing,
And then on there you draw your location.
Okay.
So it's the exact location of your,
All right,
your
okay.
barn or whatever. So that's the first thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the next question. So and then you do the elevations. North, south,
yeah.
east, west.
When you said elevation, that's why I thought
Sorry.
it needed an architect. So it's literally
No.
you're just drawing what
Yeah.
the frontage
Yeah, to scale.
of the
Yeah.
building is going to
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah, so we'll put
And a floor plan.
we'll put a template of that on the website. So
Okay.
we'll go from there,
Yeah.
and we'll probably put all of the answers in that template as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So literally, this has been passed
We'll show you once.
a gazillion times
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
Okay, so it's as simple as that. Copy, cut,
Yeah,
paste.
Love it.
Yeah, and
Bing,
what,
bang,
you can
bosh.
do, what you can also do, just on that point, to help anyone listening or watching, is one of the best ways to learn about planning permission is to review talking about planning permission and permitted development, both, either or actually,
Okay.
is to review successful planning permissions, successful permitted development applications doesn't necessarily have to be in your area, it could be anywhere in the country, but look around your area first.
Okay. Where do I find them?
So
Just-
on the plan, it's called the planning portal. So there's a
Okay.
national planning portal and then a local planning. So every
Yeah.
council will have what's called a planning portal, and
Nice.
the addresses are different for the local council. So you type it into Google, it'll bring up the portal. It'll ask you for an address, or it'll give a list of most recent ones, so you can search in your area.
and this is all free.
Yeah, it's free to access, and it shows all the applications, all of the correspondence between the applicant and the council, all of
Okay.
the plans, all of the reasons for refusal if there was a reason, and then the reasons for rebuttal, and if the person went back to argue their case, it shows the reason, the acceptance notice and the timescales. Everything is there, so you can see templates. Hundreds of thousands of templates of people who have been successful.
Okay,
So
nice.
that's one of the
Yeah.
secrets, if you like, secret tips, which is educate yourself by looking at what people have done that's successful. Just on that point, a quick tip I will say is, if you want to be successful, copy the strategies of successful people.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good lesson for life. You don't have to do what they do, you have to
right.
copy their strategies. And the strategies are all on the planning portal, because all the ones that have failed are on there, and all the ones that have succeeded
Oh, nice.
are on there.
Okay.
So that's a great way to gain some very early stage knowledge that will help you. So permitted development is something that you can do if you follow a set of rules without asking permission. You're telling them you're going to do it. The great thing is you're in the parent position in that situation.
Okay.
So as long as you follow their rules, you should be fine. If they interpret the rules slightly differently, you can still argue your point. They may try and encourage you to go down the planning route. We would
Say no.
say no. Yeah.
Okay.
Scott, why?
Yeah, because
Explain why.
how expensive is planning permission? Because you need a whole bunch of documents and some money to go with it, right?
Well, one, you don't need to. It's a permitted development thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's £95 for a permitted development application as of August '94. Might be £98, but
All
it's
right.
less than £100.
Two is the cost. The planning application
lot
can,
more.
depending on the size of development that you're looking at, the
Yeah.
red line and the blue line, or what you're actually going to be doing, you might need to be doing other surveys to be able to put in other
Additional
planning permissions.
surveys, like
Ecology, topology, ESG that's coming in as well. So
all right.
you do not need to go down that line.
What are we talking? £1,000, £2,000, £5,000?
It can range. It can literally range depending on
If
what
you
you're
do
doing.
everything yourself,
Yeah.
everything, it could be. I think it's under £400 for the. It might be around £400-ish now. I'm not sure exactly for the physical
For the
application.
application.
But all the
Okay.
supporting reports that they might ask you to do a bat survey.
Okay.
Done 3 of them.
Yeah, they exactly.
Speed survey, 5 of them.
Yeah, they may, and you.
Ching,
for those-
ching, ching, ching,
And
ching.
those surveys, as soon as they ask you to do those surveys, they won't accept you have to get someone who's qualified. So you may be able to do a survey counting the cars that whiz past your driveway, but if you haven't been to university to get your car counting degree or whatever it is, I've got a degree in car counting, they won't accept it.
Okay.